In a world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence, there is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. Although Zeph sets an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is Curious Listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Curious Times. Welcome to your weekend, your first weekend in the new year if you're Monday to Friday. Well, it is the first weekend of the new year, regardless. Welcome to your weekend if you are a Monday to Friday worker in North America. Welcome to your Saturday morning if you're in Australia, and welcome to your freaking, I don't know what if you're in China, and anyway, whatever it is, wherever you are, welcome to it. As that song goes, welcome to wherever you are. Welcome to wherever you are. What's his stupid head guy? I can't remember the guy's name right now. So anyway, we have Selva here. We have Kimber is our guest interviewer tonight. And a couple of weeks from tomorrow night, we're going to turn the tables, and Selva will be here on that Saturday night to interview Kimber. And that's already scheduled in the books. And so there you go. What else is coming up at Curious Times? Tomorrow, Kimber is here tomorrow. Corrine is going to be the guest interviewer for Kimber tomorrow. Dr. Ida Green is here on Sunday. Monday, numerologist Michael John Fierro is here. Tuesday, our favorite astrologer, Melissa Bruce, the heavy metal psychic. And Kathleen Moore is here next Wednesday. Next Thursday, Jen Young, and we're going to give another try to Alicia to be the guest interviewer there for Jen Young, and again our Friday regular guest, so a week from tonight, Selva is back. And so there you go. Selva is a life translator. She loves to help people understand basically understand their journey here. And she's been communicating with Spirit ever since she was 4 years old. And that means she's been communicating with Spirit for, about 12 or 14 years or something like that. And she has great respect for mediumship and doesn't order up spirits, call them up. And she just kind of if somebody's there and they want to communicate something through, then she will pass that along. So, we won't have to ask you if you want fries with that dead uncle of yours, And she reads tarot and also other modalities, and she really enjoys palmistry as a hobby. And she runs workshops, for whatever people can afford, really, because she wants to make accessible learning opportunities for people who can't afford $1,500 for a weekend workshop, You can connect with Selva on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Selva.Nix. Let's go get Selva and Kimber.
Hello.
Hello. Kimber, you there?
Hello.
Hi. Hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi, Kimber.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well.
Great.
And yourself?
Wonderful, thank you. Looking forward to interviewing you. Yeah, you're amazing. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so very talented.
Thank you. Takes one to know one.
Oh,
Oh
thank you.
my God, here we go. Okay,
Chris.
Kumbaya and all that bullshit. Let's get go. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention, like, Marie, since when did Ron become camera shy all of a sudden? And you know you're in California in January when somebody's like wearing shades at night at 7 o'clock at night. They're wearing shades on top of their head. You know what I mean? And not a lampshade. I mean, sunglasses. It's probably a regular occurrence for him to be wearing a lampshade on his head that night, late at night. But you know you're in California when you're wearing sunglasses on top of your head. When he has his pants on. He's camera shy when he has his pants on, when he has his pants off. Anyway, so I'm going to turn it over to, and I just want to say hi, Lindsay's listening in by phone, it looks like. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Beth, Diane, Marie, and Ron. What are you guys cooking? And Sherry and Kimber, of course, and Selva. I hope I didn't miss anybody. So, leg of lamb. I've never eaten lamb, and I'm not sure. Oh,
yum.
I might have ate lamb. Do Indian, or is that goat? Like, I either had goat or lamb at an Indian restaurant. I don't know which it would be. I don't really like that. I mean, and Brussels sprouts. Ooh, I'm so not coming to your house for supper tonight.
Yum.
That's gross. Brussels sprouts. What do you like? Do you like Brussels
Delicious.
sprouts, Kimber?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Oh, what's wrong with you? Anyway,
No.
carry on. Kimber is our regular, every two Saturdays a month, Kimber comes on. She loves guys with long hair who play the flute and guitar. Who are Indian, and whose names are Joseph Strider. And,
yeah.
anyway, I'll let you just take it from here, Kimber.
Sure, great. Well, I'm so honored to be able to talk to you and interview you, so thank you so very much for the opportunity. I have read a little bit. You just do so many different things. You seem so adventurous and have just a wonderful journey, so maybe you can kind of tell us a little bit about how you started, how you became, I see you're a psychic and medium. Have you always been psychic? Did you have the ability to develop at a certain point? I believe it was like 4 or very young. If you want to just kind of share with us a little bit about that.
Sure. When I was 4 years old, I remember I was just playing with my brother and that, and I saw a vision of my granddad crashing onto a pole. So I ran inside and I looked at my granddad and I said, "Hey, you're going to die and crash on your bike onto a pole." And he says, "Why do you say that?" Because I just saw it. I just saw it happen, so it's going to happen. He said, "Oh, so you're the next one." And I go, "What?" And he said, "What else do you see?" And then he started asking me questions, because I spend a lot of time alone, imaginary friends anyway. And he says, "Tell me more. Tell me what else do you see?" And I just told him a few things that I was doing with my imaginary friend, mainly working with plants, healing the plants and the animals and stuff like that. It's just like a game. I used to pretend to be a nurse and work with animals, stuff like that. And I had this imaginary friend sort of teaching me how to do this. So Granddad said, "I think you better start coming to work with me." And I go, "Yeah, okay." So a medium and a healer himself. So I started going with him, which was great. It was really good. And I used to tell her, da-da-da-da-da, whatever. I used to butt in all the time. And then the more that I hanged out with him, the more stronger it became. So it's not training as such. You just find yourself doing it, really. And for me, it was just like a game at first. It was really, really good. Nothing scared me. Like I saw some pretty ugly things. They didn't worry me. I think because I didn't really understand it. Like when I saw him die, and I said, I thought it was funny. But I didn't understand it. And then when I was 6, I had the same vision again with a date, you know. And it was the day after my birthday. And I said, ooh. So I told them, Granddad, then I was pretty much aware what I was doing. I said, Granddad, it's the day after my birthday. And he said, okay, thank you. And see, you got to say, we're not scared of death or things like that. It's all like part of life. So therefore, you know, you just sort of deal with it. So I told him, and that playing with a girlfriend of mine, her name was Christina. I was playing in her front garden, and then I saw the coppers driving past. And I looked at her, I said, oh, they're going to my house to tell my daddy his daddy died. So I just ran home, and I got to the front door, and I said to Dad, the policemen are here that your dad died. My dad looked at me. Okay, he said. So he opened up, us were there, and he said, yeah, Mr. Burnett. Mr. Burnett has had an accident. And I said, yeah, he's crushed all and his head split open. I was pretty careless, really, now. But, yeah, so I just did that. And it's just from then on, my granddad started teaching me on spirit. He never left my side. And that was the only time ever that I saw a spirit in a human form as such. And then Granddad worked with me, and I think I was about 11 or 12 when he revealed himself as a light, not as a form, not as a gender. And then he explained to me, spirit realm, there's no gender, there's no male or female. Everything is a beautiful beam of light, and there's no formation. You just accept us by the radiation that we create. Oh, cool, that's really good. And that's the way I've always been. So after that, I've never seen a human form as a spirit after that. So that was it. That was pretty much it. And I've just been doing it and doing it and doing it. When I was 13, I started doing my own clients. And my dad sort of stepped aside altogether then. Then I started doing my own clients. And then I came to Australia, and it scared me a little bit because it was like Australia had no soul. Australia's a very different place. In 1973, there was religion, but there wasn't spirituality. There's a bit of a difference on that. And I didn't like it at first because you couldn't just go up to people because people would, you know, sort of shun off, and it was illegal in Australia to do that anyway. So people started sort of avoiding me, like the plaque, for a while. So I concentrated in the Latin community and Italian community and Europeans because they understood it. So I used to connect it to them. And I just did it, really. I just did it. And whenever I wanted to learn something, I would ask Spirit, I want to learn how to do healing. And they showed me. I said, I want to learn how to do a little bit more of this. I want to learn how to help people have a baby. I want to learn how to balance it more harmoniously. And Spirit teaches you. Spirit is always teaching. It's always willing to share. It wants you to evolve. It wants you to grow. They were very helpful. They were just my best companion, really. And it went on from there. I just did it. In 1979, I met my first husband, whose name was Brett. He was a wonderful man. And when I met him, I hated him at first. And I thought, oh, God, he's going to be the one because I hate him so much. He's going to be the one. So he was. So we got together on the Friday, moved in on the Saturday, 24 hours later. And I said to Brett, I said, there's two things you've got to understand. My brother's got to respect that and accept him as he is. And I'm a spiritual worker. I'm a life translator, and you got to respect that. Don't like it too bad because I'm not going to give it up. And he said to me, well, as long as your brother keeps his hand to himself, we're okay. And as long as whatever it is you hurt me, you're fine too. So that was it. We had a beautiful 30 years marriage. And all the time I was doing it for free, completely for free. I was just doing it and doing it because I had a job. Brett had a job, so why charge for what I love doing? So I did it. But 1985, around May 1985, he said to me, you need to learn to exchange energy. You need to get paid for what you do because you're not going to have time to work anymore. And I said, no, fine. My husband's got a good job, so I don't need to charge. I can do it for free. And he said, no, we're telling you, you need to do that. We'll give you until the 4th of November. That's on the 4th of November. That's my husband's birthday. No. Anyway, my husband came back, and we live in a town named Collie, and we were moving to another town called Collie, which is 800 kilometres from Collie. He's a plumber, so we're going up there, move up there. And my husband comes home and he says, so 4th of November, we're moving. I said, oh. And I sort of clicked, put things together. And I thought, oh, I'm going to have a car accident. And I said to him, you have a car accident. And he said, no, we're going to change your life. I said, oh, okay, the 4th of November. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to drive on the 4th. I'm just going to get to place and way out the 4th and then drive on the 5th. I thought that was a smart move, but it didn't work that way. Anyway, just after midnight on the 4th, the 2 front tires of my car exploded. We had a massive car accident, and which I died, certified dead, and I was there for 3 days. And I was lying there. It was really funny. I was lying there in the morgue, right? And the guy was just about to start an autopsy on me, and I sat up and I said, what are you doing? And the poor guy ran out. He just ran out. It was so funny. Anyway, so then they took me back to the ward. They did the checkups and stuff like that. And the doctor said, wow, I can't believe you're back. I had an uncle had the same problem. He used to be diagnosed dead quite often, then 2-3 days later he would. And at the end, he used to have a bracelet that he had to, and they said, do not bury this for at least a week and a half. And I go, wow. And then my dad told me, Uncle Thing, I never knew about that until that happened to me. And he said, I wonder if you're the same as him. And I said, no, Dad, I think it's just a once-off. They wanted to teach me a lesson. And I said, okay. So it was really, it's very emotional and tragic that time when I come back, because there was all these cards saying how sorry they were about the loss of my children. And I don't know how the rumor started that I had 4 children under 5, and apparently they all died and stuff like that, and I was the only one left, you know, and I was going, oh my God. I was really in shock sort of thing for a little while until my mum came out and she said, no, all the kids are okay, everything's fine. So whoever started that rumor made a huge mistake, and so that was okay. I was kept away from my family for 3 months because I couldn't feel my legs or anything, and I was sort of there for 3 months in the hospital, and with a jaw wide up, you know, and I was just lying there thinking, and they would come around ever to talk to me, and he said, now that we've got your attention, and they explained to me why I needed to exchange energy. He says, now you're in a situation that you're going to have to touch because there'll be no income. And of course in Australia, if you're unemployed, you can, right? If you are employed and you get hurt at work, you get sickness benefit. But my husband did not get hurt at work, could not get this benefit. He wasn't unemployed, so he couldn't get the doll. So there was nothing. There was nothing for him to get any money, type of thing. So I had to charge, but I didn't know what to charge. And the first time that it was by obligation, we got to Kalgoorlie at a hospital, and the guy knocked at the door, and I didn't know anybody in Kalgoorlie, no one at all. I've never been to the place before. To the door, and he said, "Are you Selva Nix?" And I go, "Yeah, I need your help." And I go, "Yeah, sure, no worries." So he came in, and as he was leaving, he was below, and I said, "No, don't worry about it." And he looked at me and says, "Take it." And I go, "Oh, okay." So I took it, and we were behind on the power. It was $300 I needed anyway. And I opened the envelope, and what was there? $300. So I've paid the bills that I need. And then I got a phone call from my girlfriend in Port Hedland, which is 2,000 kilometres north. And every year I used to go to refuge and help the ladies get positive, and be strong and self-believe in themselves and work with them as much as I could. And I said to my girlfriend, "Come up this year. I can't afford to scratch myself." And she goes, "Look, I don't know what's going on, but you've actually got a lot of appointments and everybody's giving me an envelope, so give you money this time for whatever reason." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And my husband said to me, "You go up there, that's it, whereas I'm not going to have my wife supporting me." And I go, "Oh, God, what do I do? Do I do my work? Do I stay home?" And my mother-in-law, God bless her, she said, "You go, Selva. You go. I will stay and Brett. I will sort him out." So I said, okay. So I left. I went up. And the next day I ring home, and my 5-year-old answers the phone. And I said, "Troy, why are you answering the phone? Where's Grandma?" "She's gone home, Mummy." "She's gone home?" I thought, oh, no. I said, "Where's Daddy?" He said, "He's talking to you." I said, "Oh, okay. I love you, and I want to call tomorrow." That went on for 6 weeks. 6 weeks ringing, no answer. Ringing, no answer. So my girlfriend, I was saying to her, "Look, while you're doing this, I want you to send all the money to Brett so he can pay all the bills and he can sort it out." And when I left home, we were actually $32,000 in the red because we had 12 months of no money, no nothing, so we're in deep trouble. So for 6 weeks, I was sending the money down and everything was happening. And on the last day of the 6 weeks, I rang up. I said, "Don't hang up. I'm coming home tomorrow." And he said, "Such a time." "Okay, I'll be there." Me and my first are very loving, very caring. We're always kissing and hugging and dancing and singing until this little problem, this little hiccup. So I got to the airport, and instead of hugging me and saying it's good to see you, he shook my hand. I thought, oh, my God. He shook my hand. And he not said. And I said, "Where's the kids?" He said, "Don't worry about the kids. They're fine." I said, okay. And he said to me, "You know how you went for 6 weeks?" And I go, "Yeah." "You know how we have $31,000 in the red?" And I go, "Yeah." "Well, in 6 weeks, you've earned $2,000. So it's $1,000 left over." So I said to your friends, "Do I save it or blow it?" And, of course, they said blow it, of course. So the casino's opening, so we're going to the casino for the weekend. The kids will be there waiting for us. I said, and I said, let's just take a new beginning, a reconciliation, that a new life begins now. And if you do need to work, well, do it. We can swap roles. The doctors will not be able to go back to work ever. So I said, okay, we'll do that. So we went to the casino, which was called the Burko Casino. We walked in with $1,000 and we left with $1,000. The whole weekend cost us nothing. We danced, we drank, we gamed. The kids had a ball. They know how to use room service like you wouldn't believe. So that was it, the beginning of me as a profession and working and getting paid for it. I was okay with it, but then I started thinking, what if I could afford it, you know? And so I decided, okay, I'm going to start teaching it, but just on donation. And the healing on donation. Private sessions of readings I do charge for that. So you can say that the private session of my livelihood and the teaching and the healings, they're just a donation work. And, you know, here today, you know, years later, I mean, many other things have happened in my life. Some that I don't like to talk about it because they upset me. But yeah, many things happen, and here I am today. But try to give up once. I was about 17. I thought it was a curse, so I tried to give it up, and I did just about anything. I think I spent 3 months high as a kite and drunk all the time and trying to do everything that was against my principle. I tried to do everything against my principle to try and give it up. But it's like the more I give it up, the stronger it became. He said, no. So at the end, I just gave up. I said, oh, you know, when I was 18 and a half, and I just, well, that's it. I can't give it up. I'm stuck with it, you know. So I relaxed with it, I think. But I think the problem was because in Australia it wasn't accepted as well like it was in South America. And that was very hard. Nowadays it's a lot easier. Nowadays it's just the norm here, which is really good. Or whether I'm not paying attention to people as much as what I don't know. But it's more acceptable now. So it's a lot better. That's a very rough story about myself, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Wonderful and amazing.
Easy to interview someone like Selva.
Well, and that was just an amazing, wonderful, and a difficult story. It just, you really did a great job at explaining, you know, I believe so much that a lot of times it's the hardest stuff in our life that teaches us the most, and that we learn and that we grow and makes us as strong. And for you, you are just a beautiful example of that. You've been through so much, and you've done so much, and you've made everything part of your path and worked with it, and you help so many in what you do, and it's beautiful. You did a great job explaining, and it really just shows what a big heart, you know, and all the amazing gifts and talents that you have and you share, and that's beautiful. And as you said, it's not always easy, and it's so hard, especially, and you know, as I did too, when you develop it so young, and you have to learn so much on your own, and it's so wonderful that you had such a great grandfather who is still and always will be around you forever, and to be such an amazing influence, and you come from so much magic and generations and so much inside you. As you said, you can learn, and a lot of it just, it's in you. It, you know, and it's already that knowledge and wisdom and just generations of it. And I believe, too, that a lot of what you went through and the amazing story about how you had died and everything, what I had a near-death experience, too, as well, but nothing like yours. And yours is just one of the most amazing I've ever heard. And I believe that it is part of people like us that it happens to, and yours is an extreme and interesting and really fascinating. And I think it made you you. It was part of your path. It was kind of a time, like a time out, where a download of so much knowledge and things that it just is so amazing. Wow. It's hard to really even...
Thank you. The thing is that everything in our lives is part of our path. We've got two choices. We can bury ourselves in negative things that are happening all around and be miserable and be like a lump of poop, or look at it, I want to learn something from this, and I'm going to enjoy it as I'm doing it. It's just two choices that we have.
Yeah.
We all have the knowledge inside. It's a case of waking up and acknowledging that we are complete. It is that simple. And when you look at it, I'm no better than all. It's just that I accept myself completely. That is the only difference. Where majority of people, they just look for an approval or a guidance from outside themselves, where I look for everything inside myself.
Beautiful.
That's the only difference. A spirit is there to work with you constantly if you ask, but they will not interfere unless you ask. But if you ask, they will work with you. Like when I'm training people, and I don't call it training. I call them, when I'm awakening them, I tell them, whatever you do, don't tell spirit you're going to sit down every Monday night at 6 o'clock and meditate, or every Monday night at 6 o'clock and do some healing for the world or whatever, unless you mean it. Because they will expect you to fulfill your contracts. If you tell them you're going to be there at a certain day and time, that becomes like a contract. And if you're out, let's just say decided, no, I'm going to go down the pub tonight, or if you're doing it, you're going to be at the pub and you're going to end up restless, and everything will start getting to you because you will start noticing everything's not right, because you're supposed to be fulfilling your contract with them. If you respect them and you work with them, respect you and work with you. When I go to darts on Wednesday night, they don't bother me at all, because they know that's my play night. That's the night that I have a few beers and I throw a few darts, that's it. And if I've got an event coming up, like a competition or anything else, I say, look, I'm not available that day, because that day I'm going to be doing darts, I'm going to be doing this, I'll be playing golf or whatever. I know it. I actually treat spirit like a living person right here with me. So I let them know what I'm about, and they know, and they let me know what the go is too. I wish they would help me win more often, but they don't do that.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and as you said, that's how you have the connection with spirit, and respect them as you do. That's a very strong point. You respect them, you respect their time, and you make the time with them. And as you said, you got to have your playtime, and I think that's so great. That's a wonderful thing that you do, and you have to have your certain time out and to recover, because it can be a lot, and so you need that time to kind of recharge and get rid of everything and to let go, because you end up taking on so much. What is a good way that you find to do that, to kind of ground yourself and to recharge, because it can be difficult at times, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, and you need to kind of let go, and there can be them extremely traumatic times or readings that, or ones that you go through and you help, and then things that you just have to at times let go, because it can be really devastating. And so how do you do that? What do you find throughout the years? I'm sure it probably has changed with what you needed, but what do you find that helps you?
Well, one thing I learned from a very early stage is that we don't live in a spiritual world. We live in a world that is not spiritual in a sense, in a great sense. Materialism tends to override it in a lot of places. So you've got to keep yourself grounded with yourself, and then not everybody's reading the same page as you. And we're not learn, so therefore we've got to learn to integrate with other people and understand where other people are coming from. Like the guy that I'm married to at the moment, my second husband, he hasn't got a spiritual bone in his body. He's not interested in spirituality at all. He says to me, I'll drink the spirits, you can talk to them, I don't give a shit. You know, and he's a wonderful guy, and I love it, and I love that about him. And I think he keeps me grounded because of it, because he makes me aware that the world is not the way that I am, so therefore he keeps me grounded in that sense. And as far as tragedies in life and challenges and that, I was asked, you know, why did I need to go through this? But not with judgment, but with understanding of it, all right? And you just look into how it changes you, because every little experience in your life does change you. If you don't acknowledge changes that you've gone through, you're not going to grow with it. You're going to get stuck. And I'm a believer that I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. You know, what happened yesterday is not relevant to today. And what happened yesterday, we can change it. So I'm not going to waste energy on it. So I'm very much on the present, Carol. So I'm living with today, because today is the day that it will be. And today might be my last. So I'm not worried about tomorrow necessarily. And I certainly give a damn about yesterday. You know, it's something that I need to relieve. And I do believe that sometimes we do need to relieve emotion to keep us real as well. Emotions are a good thing. They're confronting, they're challenging, but they keep you real. They remind you, hey, possible. And you can fall like a sack of potato just like the next man. So I'm aware. And so forever, there's a mental conversation going on in my head all the time, you know. And when I'm giving readings, for example, I don't hear it before. I told Spirit, I do not want to hear it. Because if I hear it, sometimes if I've got to give someone something challenging, it affects me. So I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it after I've said it. So I heard nothing before I spoke. And then but in that meantime, in my head, it's like a prayer, a constant prayer. And it goes, you know, allow me to deliver this message appropriately, and for them to have an understanding of what it is, so they'll be able to utilize it in the most possible manner possible. Please, Lord, work with me all the way through. And that goes on my head, repeat it, you know, as I'm doing readings, because I've got to keep myself away from what Spirit's trying to get through. And that's why sometimes I go out and it's like I'm a bull to a gate, you know, and other times it's a bit slower. It's because Spirit knows when it needs to go slow and when it needs to go fast. All right? And then the reason, because when I start delivering the message, I will start hearing it, and I can actually, because of how it affects me emotionally. So I'm trying to balance my me, the physical, and me, the spirit. But I want them to walk side by side as well. Does it make any sense?
Oh, yes, totally. You explain it so wonderful, and you have such great intention and motivation for your work and what you do. And you, as I said, have a great way of explaining it. And you had actually answered some of the things that I was going to say, because have you ever had reading that you have not been able to give? And also you touched on about sometimes you receive things that you hate to really bring up or give, or, you know, where do you kind of draw that line if you see something and you're not sure if you should give it, or it's something very difficult, and there can be that either they didn't ask or they did ask. I mean, you know, even so much as someone to ask, you know, am I going to die? What do you do when you see things that are really not what you want to give, I guess, or questions that you. Okay.
Well, like I said before, you know, I mean, I don't hear it before I say it, so anything I will tell you everything. The reason I decided to do it that way is because I had a brother whose name is Juan, and Juan kept on saying to me, Selva, do me a reading. And I had a feeling something wasn't right, and I want to do your reading. And on those days, I used to hear it before I spoke. And it was that my brother was going to die, you know, and I said to her, Juan, there's something wrong with your blood. You're going to die. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, there's something wrong with it. I don't know what happened. He had a car accident six months prior to me doing that. When they gave him a blood transfusion, the blood was infected with the virus AIDS, which at the time they didn't have a name for. He was the very first person in Australia to be diagnosed with AIDS. And I said to him, I don't know what it is, Juan, but you're dying. Your blood is dying. You need to go back to the doctors. And he goes, oh. So he went back, of course, and the doctor said, look, I don't know, there's something rare with your blood. I don't know what it is. And that was that. He lived 10 years with us. And he went through hell, sorry for him, because he was also gay. And, of course, people in those days assumed it was a gay disease, which is a whole lot of baloney, you know. And but he survived it. He spent a lot of time with me. And it was good in a way, but it was bad in another. It was bad because I was losing a brother. And like he said to me, it's good in a way because I'm going to be able to save many other people. But doctors using me as a guinea pig, I'm going to donate myself as that. And they did. They used to do a lot of tests on him and different things and stuff like that and try and search. So it was good, but it was bad as well, you know, and that's the day that I decided, and that's the day I said to Spirit, I don't want to hear it before I say it. It's too hard and it's too personal at times. So that's what made me decide not to hear it before us, because I didn't want to be on that situation again of trying to hold my emotions and try and remain professional as I do a reading. Because even if I am seeing my brother or a close friend, I still keep that professional side of it. You know what I mean? So therefore, I didn't want to lose that. You know, so that was the reason of listening before, and I only hear it after I say it.
Yes, I completely understand that, and that's a good way of putting it. And it can be difficult, especially when you're young and you know, you're learning a lot of that, or you see it, and it becomes harder. And I think throughout the years, you tend to kind of work with it, understand it a little more, and accept it. But it can always be difficult. But when you at least know more, it makes it a little easier. So it's great that you share so much with us and with so many. That is so helpful. And you just have so many talents. You do so many things. I see you're just an amazing healer. You have had that ability all your life. You a teacher, psychic, medium. You have so many talents and such an adventure. Traveling, you really seem like you've done a lot of traveling, and it must have just been wonderful to live in Australia. And then I believe you said South America you're from, is where you were born?
Yep, I'm from Uruguay. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow, what you must have just seen through the changes in the different places and the energy of all the people. and I can just imagine.
You know what I found out? Most of all the traveling, I mean, I travel wherever I'm invited. If I'm in somewhere, I tell them how to organize my appointments, and I go there. And that's why I have traveled so much. I travel by invitation of destination, right? But I found out that when you go in the world, everybody's the same.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're all human. We're all the same. You know, to me, I don't care if you're Japanese or Taiwanese or Canadian or American or Spanish or Italian. I don't care. We're all the same. We all may speak differently in some way, but we're all the same. You know, like I was watching something on Facebook the other day. There was some silly American kid that was pleading to everybody that they should speak Americanish because Americanish is the language of the world. You know, you should not speak English from England or Australian. It should be English because that's the only English that is valid. I go, God, you're not going to get far in life, kiddo. You better wake up because there's no such a thing as America. You know, we are people. We are people that are born in a different destination, but we're all united by one vibration.
Yes.
You know, we're all. It's just that we're all in a different level. That's all.
Yes. Yep. Like you said before, light, energy, love. You know, we're all one. We're all connected. Us, animals, plants, the earth, everything. You know, everything's energy, everything's connected. And that's a beautiful way to look at it. And I believe we're all equal and we're all here to help and here to, you know, do what we can. And you have done that all your life. That is just such an amazing accomplishment. I feel, have you wrote a book or interested in writing a book? I see a, I just really get that from you.
I hate writing. I mean, I do a lot of writing. That's why I got that book. I do love writing, but I don't like, sort of being limited. Like, you've got to do this book. That's the only reason why I haven't written a book as such. I've written a lot, but not in a book format, you know, and that's why I like my blog page, because whenever I get the write, and that's it, you know. But there was a lady once when I was in Singapore, and she needed to move to Singapore for 12 months so she could spend time with me and write a book about me, you know. And I said, well, we got a bit of a problem. You have to eat. We got to survive, pay rent and everything. So unless you generate me enough work, it's not going to happen. Or you can come to Australia and stay with me. That'll be for me, you know. I'll come in my house, and if I haven't, I'll make room, you know.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to come to Australia, so we didn't do it. And I thought that'd probably be the only way that a book ever be written if someone writes it for me, because I can talk and stuff like that, and I can write blogs and that. I just don't have the discipline to sit down and write. I find that so boring. Honestly, I find boring just being forced to sit down. I mean, I've dropped out of school in 7th grade. I just dropped school because I couldn't hack it. I couldn't hack all the writing and reading, and just get me out doing stuff. That's what I'm about, you know. Yes. I'm a doer. You know, I just can't sit around and do nothing. I just can't. No. And to me, writing is sort of like, no. Yeah, and it's, I've got a girlfriend that she writes all my meditations. I channel meditations, and she writes them all. And she's got them all written, every single one. In the last 30 years, she has written them down, you know. And she showed me, look, Selva, I've got all these meditations. She can't think of one. We can use an old one. And no, I've got another one stored in there. I can come up with another one. So, and she's got them all written down. And she said to me, I'm going to publish them. I said, yeah, go for it. I don't care. Go for what. The more we share it, the better it is, you know. But I've never really written a book. Well, it sounds too structured. You know, you come to one of my weekend workshops, Kimberly, and if you ever get an opportunity to go. Don't ask me what the structure is. There is no structure.
No.
All right? All my workshops are directly channel.
Right.
So don't ask me for a timetable. Don't ask structure. Don't ask me for order. Because I will say, I don't know, we'll do what we got to do. You know, and then if there's a structure, the only structure there is, I always start with a meditation. I will start with a meditation, and then from then on, I probably will ask her, what area did you want to specialize in today? And I will ask the spirit to come in and share that area.
Yes.
But there's no stress such. So you'll never see an advertisement saying, Selva's doing a workshop on purely tarot or pure healing. That's not going to be the case. Spirit tends to bring people together, and they seem to teach them exactly what they need at that point.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking. You keep saying a lot. I think that is just amazing. We have a good connection because a lot of the things I'm thinking you answer, and I think that is so wonderful. You give what is needed, and as you said, it's your own structure. It's not really a structure. It's what is given or what you're shown, and I think that's what is needed by who you're working with at the time, or even yourself, and that is so great. Instead of just having it be just a set certain thing each and every time, I think that that's a much better way of teaching, and we all have certain styles and certain ways, and yours is just beautiful and amazing and such great that you share. And I do believe that the meditations, even that may be your first book, and I know I completely get the reading, the writing, and all that. I'm so on the same page with you about all of that. And need a secretary or need, someone to do the dictation. And in fact, what's really odd is just the other day I had a friend help me to try to do on my computer where I would be able to do the speech recognition, and it was totally it does not work at all. I mean, it would have been like drunk readings because I thought it would be great for emails. But, I mean, everything I said was completely different than what it came out, and some of it was so odd and so strange. I thought people are going to think, oh, my God, what is she doing? I don't get this, And I thought, well, that totally is not going to work then because that's what I wanted it for because I'm a very slow typer. And so I thought, well, this would be perfect. But the weirdest thing is, what's really odd and great is because it was like I was almost getting a few messages from Spirit, and in fact, NIX came up, Nix. So, and that was just a few days ago. And isn't that your last name? Or did I see it? NIX?
Yeah.
And that used to be my name, not now. My last name now is Dutton, but that was my first marriage last name. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was getting some messages there, and I think and this was before, because Chris just asked me last night to interview you, so I apparently this was meant to be, and I'm so happy that it was. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of great, kind of cool that your name came up. But
cool.
So don't even try the speech to recognition. It just does not work. It was so bad. I wish it would, because it would make my life so much easier for readings and stuff, but so they definitely.
And I tell you about names. I mean, I'm glad I'm not in South America anymore. My name would be Selva Lillian Burnett Gomez Chavez Nix Dutton. Because you don't get rid of any name in South America. I can just chop that name off and just use my current last name. But in South America, you got to use all your names. Yeah. You got to use your father's name, your mother's mother's name, your first husband, your second husband. It gets too long. Like, oh yeah, my name is Selva Lilian Bourdonnais Gomez Chavez.
Could you imagine
next up.
Elizabeth Taylor? 7 marriages. Like they wouldn't even. What happens if your name's too long to fit on your driver's license?
Yeah. So it's cool. Yeah. So it's Dutton now. So yeah. So I'm easy to find anyway.
Yeah.
The other day, I Googled myself and I go, oh my God, look at all this stuff in there. I didn't even know I did. That's pretty cool. It's quite interesting the way this all worked out.
Yeah.
So listen, hi Brittany, how are you? Are you coming for a reading, Brittany, or are you just listening? I also see Florida, if that's Cindy. Can you push 1-1 on your phone right now, either of you, if you're waiting for a reading?
That one.
Push 1-1 if you're waiting. Okay, that's Florida. That's Cindy, I think. And I didn't see if Brittany did or didn't. Oh, Sherry's there with her hand up. Sherry. I'm going to try and I think I'm going to get Selva when I take a song break. Can you hear me, Selva?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I think when we take a song break, I might just scoot you on my Skype call again, because during the interview part, you were picking up a bit, and I just didn't want to interrupt it, and we heard most of it. It wasn't really bad by any stretch of the imagination, but may as well take advantage of the song break and see if that will help at all. And so now, don't go nowhere, Kimber, because if we get these 2 or 3 readings done, and then if you guys want to carry on your discussion till the in the second hour, that would be great too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, love to. Yes.
All right, and
cool.
Also if you're going to get a reading from Selva, then you get to go first since you're the working interviewer tonight, Kimber. So let me know.
Oh, sure. I would be honored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kimber first.
Wonderful.
And I think Lindsay has left the building. Then we have Cindy, who I think is Florida. Then Sherry. And that's all I know about that right now. Brittany didn't push 1-1, so I don't know about Brittany. Okay, so she'll do 1 too. So Brittany also. Okay, so we'll take a song break. I'm gonna scoot you in on my Skype call, so cancel your sound here on it. Hit that headset in the upper left hand corner. Make sure your Skype is on. I'll start the song and then dial you in. Here. Since it's been so long, Kimber, and since you're going above and beyond the Call of Duty, now I'm if my computer will catch up to it, that is. So please stand by. I know we're recording and it's like totally dead air. So here comes Selva. In the meanwhile,
I'm back. Can't hear you. I can't hear Chris either. Hello again.
Oh no, shit. Sorry, that was an invalid show number. Please enter the show number. Welcome to Intuitalks. In order to join, please enter.
Okay, unbelievable. I don't know what the heck happened. Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, we're California, Florida. Is that Cindy? You've been unmuted all along. So if you're there, please speak. Florida.
Hi.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You're there. Very good.
Yay.
Not very well. Not very well. But how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right, Cindy.
Hi, Selva. Hi, Chris.
Hey. Cindy, life can actually turn around for you quite rapidly if you actually take a step back. I know that probably doesn't make sense. You need to take a step back. You need to step back and reassess where you are. But how did you get there? You need to reassess because it's like you keep on making the same little hiccup that it's not letting you move forward. So you need to go through a weeding process. All right. In a weeding process, it means you look at the garden and there's flowers and weeds, right? Now you've got to get rid of all the weeds so there's only room for the plants to grow. You need to look at yourself like a garden like that, and you need to actually yourself, what is it that I need to get rid of? This is blocking me. This is suffocating me. Not working with me. Get rid of that. This makes me feel good. This makes me feel happy. I'm going to help to grow. So you need to put yourself on a weeding process to help you to move forward, give you an opportunity to embrace life on a more positive vibration. Because a lot of people, they don't seem to be getting who you really are. They think they know you are, but they're not dealing with you. They're dealing with the assumption that they have of you. So you need to go through a weeding process to reveal you a little more. So then everybody will treat you with the respect and the support that you deserve, which you don't seem to be getting it completely at the moment. You're only getting it in dribs, and I want you to move forward. I want you to really open that door and say, this is my life, this is my direction, this is who I am. Love me or hate me, this is all I've got. There is some money issues as well around you, but it's not that you're in a really bad money situation. It's just that you need to create a budget somehow and structure it a little bit more to help you move forward as well. All right. So tidying up loose ends, really, that's where you are right now. You need to tidy up loose ends to be able to put everything in place and you'll be able to move forward on that vibration.
Wow. Yeah, the money issues do seem to be getting in the way of me moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's has slowed down, which I guess it was because of the holidays and figured it would pick back up. I thought it was.
No, don't justify things. You know, the biggest mistake that holds us back is when we justify things. We justify, this because of this. No, it's like, okay, this happened, but I don't want it to happen again. The minute you give something a justification, you give it a permission to remain there longer than what it should. You understand?
Hello?
Hello?
There?
What do you see as far as for me? How do I generate more income so I can move forward, make the move,
Yeah, you can. You do that, but like the first thing you got to do is like don't justify your situation. Don't give it a reason. All right? You got to say, okay, I know how I want to be. I want to move them forward into a new vibration, and actually ask yourself, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to achieve? And see yourself doing it. First, you got to visualize. What we visualize, what we allow to enter into our head on a positive vibration, what we feed into ability of manifestation, that's what we bring to ourselves. All right? So whatever area of our life that we feed, that's what's going to grow. So spend time feeling sorry for ourselves, we're going to stay feeling sorry longer than what it should. But if we spend time knowing that we can create the changes and there's a better opportunity for us out there, that's what's going to grow. All right. So first of all, you've got to work out what is it the work that I want to do, that I enjoy, that it brings me fulfillment, and it brings me joy. And then you've got to visualize yourself actually doing that and talk about it as if you are doing it. All right. And the minute we start talking about something, we're giving it life. we give action, and we can bring it into ourselves, okay? We can bring it into ourselves. It's like, how did I end up doing this show, right? I've always wanted to do international shows and stuff like that. And I said, how am I going to do it? In Australian radio, I'm not going to be. So I started talking about it. I started telling people, I'm going to look for a way to connect to the world to bring that. And I started talking about it. I was talking about it every day. I was talking about it to everybody, right? And what it does, that gives it life. And the minute you give something life, it grows. So it grows, it's delivered, and you create it. So you can do that. You can do that. So anybody that puts you down, anybody that doesn't encourage you, anybody that's not awakening your self-worth, you just step away from. But anybody that's willing to listen to what you've got to say, anybody that's willing to encourage you to want to spend more time with them. And that's what's going to start bringing you more positive vibration into your life. You there?
Yep, very nice. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barely. If you could speak into the phone, right directly into the phone or something, that would be easier, but we can hear you.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, way better.
Okay. I had headsets on, so I picked up the microphone and got it closer.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have a question?
Well, my main question was about, me moving forward and being able to move and make that residential move. And
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you have any insight on, how you see that working out and when that door will open.
I can't give you.
I've got a lot of realtors looking for the right place and just waiting on the right location.
I really feel that the move, the relocation, will be created through a work connection. So I do feel that you probably will find a job or something of that nature and end up in that area. So it's like a destination will be created by an opportunity that is being presented. So I think finding a job somewhere else is going to help you find a destination to move to. And it's going to be quite easy. Now, when exactly it's going to happen, I'm not getting told that. I'm not getting told and exactly. But what I'm getting is that it's in the first 6 months of the year. So it's in the first 6 months of the year. But it depends on the energy that you put into this is what you manifest, bring into yourself. So you've got to really concentrate on that and understand that, yes, I need to move forward. And I'm looking for, look for jobs in areas that do entice you, or visit areas, and see how you feel and see what you can manifest. And because it is through your own research and your own preparation to move, but it's connected to a job. It seems to be connected to a job, and that's where your destination is going to be.
Okay. Do you see what kind of work that job is?
It seems to be public connections that are in the servicing retail thing or community service, working with people. So it's like you're providing a service to people on a good environment. It seems like a happy environment. So I don't know if it'll be retail or restaurant or whatever, but it does in a people environment.
Okay. All right.
But it's not an isolation work. It's not an office hiding away work. I do see you're with people. You're surrounded with people.
Okay. Very cool. Very interesting.
Awesome.
Could I ask you one more just quick thing? It's real superficial.
Do some work on your throat chakra, okay?
Okay. Well, I will do.
What's your question? Quickly.
My other question, I found a little jar type of a thing in the back and behind my refrigerator today, and like stuck inside the coils, between the refrigerator and the coils. And it was like a black little jar shaped like a little Buddha, or looked like something, not Buddha, but it looked like something, almost looked like something evil. like this little black painted jar from Lima. It said Lima, Peru, is like pressed into the jar at the bottom. And my ex did spent time in Lima, Peru in the military. Did he put that there? I mean, I'm wondering if it's just the weirdest thing the way it was wedged in there.
So, if you feel uncomfortable, why are you still got it? Why don't you say?
What?
What's inside of it? Nothing? You keep calling it a jar. Is there anything inside of it?
Well, no. It had bugs in it. I mean, it was the weirdest thing. I saw behind the refrigerator on the coil there was a bug, and I thought, that's a weird place for a bug to be, and I pulled it out, and here was this jar.
Is there any jar itself? Is there any symbols in the jar itself? Any symbols? Any?
It's in the shape of like a little evil-looking kind of little Buddha monk type kind of thing. I mean, it just almost. My first thought was witchcraft. It just looks like this evil little, like a little bottle. It's about 3 inches high.
Is there a symbol on it?
What is
there a picture? Is there a picture there, or letters there, or anything drawn in it?
There is a sticker on the back, but everything's in Spanish. And it's from Peru, because Lima, Peru.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It is sort of like witchcraft thing. You can't read it. Can you read it at all, or?
Well, I don't know Spanish, so I don't know what it says.
Okay. All right.
The only part I can recognize is Lima, Peru is stamped in the bottle, in the jar itself, at the bottom.
It's got a title. Has it got like a title, like a head on it? And spell it out for me.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me look on I took pictures of it so I could remember.
It sounds like a macumba jar.
There was a sticker across the front of it that's red. Let me see what it says. Inca. It said Inca something.
Yeah.
The sticker was peeling off, but it said Inca something at the bottom.
Well, can you spell out the something? Can you spell it out? I speak Spanish.
No, it's missing. Part of that's missing. That was in English. It said Inca something, and that part of it's missing, though, the word. But it's black. I mean, it was like this little, like a man face, the belly button, the hands, the legs, I don't know.
I will toss it. Get a plastic bag. Get a plastic. It sounds like a macumba jar, which is a black magic thing. All right.
That's what my first instinct.
So what I would do. What I would do, get a plastic bag, one of those seal top ones, put salt in it, and chuck it in there. Right. That'll neutralize it.
Oh, you know what I did?
Right.
I washed it off inside and out, and then I filled it with salt and covered it in salt. I already did that.
Good girl. That's exactly what you need to. That's exactly what you need to do. But it'll be no good to you anyway. The minute you get rid of that salt or anything like that, it might activate it again. But it's a controlling thing. It's to hold people back. All right. But it is a black magic, a macumba thing. Yeah.
It says,
and that's what it is, because I would.
There's a tag on the back of it. It says Inca Pisco.
Pistol.
INCA and then PISCO.
PISCO. Yeah.
PISCO.
It is. Yeah, it's an Inca Pistol. It is, and pistol is like hold you back, like it keep you still, like there's no growth, prevent growth. It is a witchcraft thing.
Did my ex-boyfriend?
But you did the thing
before. Huh?
You did the right thing by filling up with salt. That's what I was going to tell you to do it, but you've already done it, so you've already do it.
Now, what I'm wondering is if Clifton, my ex that I have a restraining order against, and he's been like
obviously,
every effort for me to move. Did he put that here before he moved out? Like he moved out back at 1st of June. But somebody else told me he had a spell put on me, so everything would go wrong and I wouldn't be able to move. Everything kept going bad.
Yeah, well, he did it. Yeah. Is he from Peru himself?
Yeah. Well, he's not from Peru, but he spent a few years in Peru when he was in the military. So he has a lot of different things that he brought back from Peru.
Yeah.
And he was in Lima, Peru specifically.
No. Yeah, he did it. He must have got someone to do it. But he probably did it just before he left. And, of course, what it does, that stops your growth altogether. Now that you've taken care of that can down your vibration. So what you got to do, you got to give your house a blessing. I want you to buy a gift for the house, whether it's a mirror or whether it's something, and have a little celebration and give the house permission to open up again and to let all the good things come into your life so you can move forward.
Okay.
All right? Even if you have a few friends over and have a little bit of a party or whatever, but bring life house, give the house permission to be happy again, give the house permission to open up and bring the good positive energy back in it.
Okay. Now what do I do with this to dispose of it properly?
Wrap it up on paper or whatever, and get a hammer and break it. Get a hammer and break it, but with the salt in it, all right? Don't take the salt in it. So put it inside a bag. That was going to get you. Fill it with salt, put it inside a bag, and then get a hammer and break it, right?
Okay.
And then bury it or just bury it or throw it in the bin or something, but just break it. Just disconnect. You want to get rid of it.
Okay.
And then don't keep thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. Get rid of it. You don't need it in your space. And the good thing about that, though, that people that do that kind of stuff, I believe in close around, comes around. Because we're not to hurt another. So,
right. And see, I had been told, which I hadn't found what he had done, but I had been told that he had used, witchcraft, black magic on me to keep me from being able to move forward to leave here. He didn't want me to be able to leave because then he'd lose track of where I was. So that's why every time I found a place, it fell apart. I've been for months trying to leave this place, and every time I find a house, it disappears and I don't get it. And I can't leave. I've been stuck here.
Yeah,
and I found this by accident today. Yeah, it was really weird.
Good. Well, I'm glad you found it. I'm so glad you found it. That was probably what was blocking the energy. There was preventing. But put that behind you. You need to forget about that. You need to dispose of it, get rid of it, and move on forward. Okay?
All right. Got it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies.
All right, Cindy,
You're
take it easy.
I will. Thanks.
All right, take care. Find the call. Okay. So now let's go back to Kimber. Sorry, Kimber, I did not know that no one could hear me, and so I was just thinking you went away on the song break and would be back another time. So anyway. Sorry, sir.
Yep. Nope. I'm here. No, I couldn't hear nothing, and so then I hung up and called back in, and then I was able to hear. So I don't know what happened. Sorry. So did I miss a song?
No, yeah, I guess you did. I guess I was the only one that could hear the song then.
Oh,
great
wow.
guitar guys. Awesome.
I really didn't know that as soon as I added a call, any other time I add a call, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Cancel my sound. So I have no understanding as to why the sound for everybody got killed when I added Selva onto my call. But anyway, that's what happened.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'm here.
It's just a Strider song, and you're not there to hear it.
I know, and I'd never leave for not for that. No way.
So anyway, okay. So now we're gonna get Selva to give you your reading.
Oh, okay, thank you.
It was recorded. I listened to it later on the recording.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, Kimber,
Yes.
are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Thank you.
Did you buy yourself a new camera by any chance?
No, I was given one a while back, though.
Okay. You've got to use it. When we have a camera, we've got to use it. That's what they're given to us for or whatever. And if you didn't get given one, you would have gone out and bought one anyway. But there's a lot of fun to take. You have an ability to look into pictures and see if people don't. So you should observe take and see that maybe in your Facebook page or whatever. And if you're on Facebook, look me up so we can hook up and talk some of the time.
Yes.
You've got to pay attention to pictures because you very often you get things that you don't even know you're getting. All right, and also you've got to stop second guessing yourself. If people ask you something, it's because you're able to do it, not because they want you. You never attract yourself something that you're not capable of, but it's for some reason. It's like you need to question yourself. Can I do that? Really? Maybe. No. Be positive. If people ask you to do it because they believe you do it. At the time, what happens is that other people can see our potential before we can see our own potential. I mean, we're very good at recognizing everybody else, but we don't recognize ourselves. And that's the thing that does concern me about you, is that you don't look at you enough. You do notice and you recognize everybody else's ability and their transitions and that, but you don't see. So you need to look at yourself more often and see your capability, but also acknowledge what you have achieved in life. Whatever the big achievements have been for you, and also the learning from the challenges that have been presented. There seems to be two opportunities in a work condition that have been presented to you, and you're not sure exactly which one to as such, and it's going to be a big decision for you because you know that whichever one you choose, you are going to have to look at your life with a different little bit of a structure, a little bit. You are a little bit of a time waster. I don't mean to offend you, so you tend to procrastinate, so you do waste time. So you've got to be more on the mark a little bit more. So more of this will come your way. The minute you finalize something, you create a space for a new opportunity to come in. But if you're not finishing stuff, you're filling up your space all full, and this is not going to make room for opportunity. Party up loose ends, start new directions, put things in so you can move into a new vibration as well.
Perfect. Yeah, boy, you were spot on with everything. And yeah, I am a procrastinator, so I do need to work on that. So you even got that right. Yes, definitely. Amazing. You picked up so much and gave me a lot of wonderful information. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did you have a question?
Yeah, you can ask a question at this point now. If you...
Well, one thing, do you see a move in my future? Maybe this year or
Not immediately, Kimber. You got up a lot of loose ends where you are. It's like you got to get things finished, and then you'll be able to move. Okay. You got to up loose. Just put everything back in place, and then opportunity of a move will come. Perfect.
That's kind of what I thought too, and so yeah, that is wonderful. And that is
one more thing. If you can't afford it, you don't need it.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Just kill yourself. No, take that. It's okay. I can go past. Stop. Don't waste energy. Energy is so important. We need the energy for many different things. And don't waste yourself. I could buy that. No, you don't wish that because you don't need it. Because if you really needed it, you would be able to afford it. Yeah. The quicker you tell yourself, I'll always have what I need, the quicker things will grow for you.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Definitely.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Awesome.
Great. Well,
awesome.
Thank you so much. You are so wonderful, and I appreciate being able to interview you, and you just have shared so much amazing knowledge.
Okay, Kimber, okay.
And I will look you up and we'll connect again because I could talk with you forever.
Back to you again. I just have a couple more to get through, so hang on. Okay. Because Kimber, if she's left alone, she can do a 20-minute goodbye. You know what I mean? And so we got Brittany and Sherry, so we're going to go with Sherry then Brittany. Hi, Sherry.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. It's Friday.
Sherry, you got a beautiful voice.
Thanks.
You need to know that you're beautiful. You give so much strength on your voice. It's actually amazing. You know, I don't think you realize that when you speak, people hear you. You know, and it's so important because you leave so many things unsaid sometimes because you tend to think, but it's not. You know, people may not react to what they say there, and when they go away and think about it, they go, "Gee, she was right." You know, and so the power of your voice, because it's time. This year, it's a top year for you. This is your year where you will be heard. This is the year that you'll be able to create change. This is the year that you'll be able to endorse and step through and see where you belong for the first time in a really, really long time. You had a year like this when you were 18, and then there was a held back up judgment, prevented you from making a move. It was quite a considerable move, but other people's ideas and direction, you weren't strong enough to believe in you. Now it's like the wheel has turned and this opportunity is coming your way that you can move forward with sharing your opinion and acknowledging what you know as well. Don't be bashful to tell people what you're doing it. It doesn't mean you're big noting yourself or anything. You're just simply informing people the service that you can provide for them and you are prepared to provide for them, and they can do what they want to see. The right people will carry on, and the right people will call you to tag along with them in the right direction. There's a lot of learning for you this year as well, so I don't know if you're looking to a new course. I do see you polishing up all new skills and going into a new direction as well. So this is a beautiful year for you. It's a year of saying goodbye to this and moving forward into a regrowth. So it's actually very, very positive.
Good. Good to hear. Keep my fingers crossed.
Oh. Who has a little dog around you?
I don't know. I mean, we have a dog. She's so little. We have someone who just got a little dog.
Yeah. That person is going to be important to you for some reason. It's like you and that person, because I see the dog. You talk about the dog, and suddenly it's like, I don't know, something breaks out, and I do see your heads together in some project and actually make an ending of something, which is actually going to free you up. I don't know if it's a rumor or what it is, but it's like you're creating an ending of a situation. But together, the two of you are going to be very important. I just see this little dog in the middle. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll just have to see how it runs.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So no specific question or?
Well, I had a weird thing. Well, see, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I had a near accident today. My brakes went out on my car. Luckily, no one was hurt. I didn't hurt anybody. But what was behind all that? I don't believe something just happens to happen. I can't hear Selva.
I can't hear.
You have to speak up with that question, and she didn't hear you.
Oh, repeat it.
She had her brakes went out, and she wondered why. She almost had a car accident. She wants to know what was the reason for
okay. That. All right. Now, did you hit the left-hand side of your car or the right-hand side of the car?
Well, I was going to the left. Luckily, I missed the curb, but I didn't actually have the accident. Right. I missed it. I prevented it.
So you're going left.
I was going right.
Is that right?
I was turning right. The car went left because I had no brakes. It went.
Okay. Now, metaphysical, you can look at it, that it's trying to tell you you've got to pay attention to part of the direction where you need to be because someone's going to try and deviate you in some way.
Ah, okay.
And also, it also a warning that you've got to keep an eye on a direction of journeys because the road is not where it seems.
Okay.
You think you're heading that way, but you're
Right.
to head another way, which it means you're caught up in a situation that you need to look at. Do I really want this as such? But it doesn't just involve you; it does involve whoever was with you at the time as well.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it wasn't just for you; it's just for you and the people that are there. It also brings you an appreciation of life itself.
Yes.
Which it means opportunities, you put things till later when the present time is now. Now is the time to do what you need to do because tomorrow can change so rapidly that no wait. So it is a warning. It's like a wake up call. Look what's around you. Become aware of what you're thinking. Look at your destination. Is it your destination or someone else's destination? And don't wait until tomorrow because there'll be no tomorrow maybe.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a sort of a combination of many things into the one pile.
Right. Well, yeah, I have a tendency to move.
But wait. Plus, you need to put brake oil. Your car's obviously an automatic.
Right.
Because it's like the line. It's very dry.
They think, well, we
So
don't know what happened yet, but they think the brake line had a leak or something. Or went.
Because I could not feel the oil in the brake line. And
Yeah.
So that's obviously mechanically also that you've got to maintain your car a little bit more too, because even though it taught you a lot of metaphysical lessons, there is a practical
right
every day of the reason as well.
Right. That's so true.
Yeah, but it's a brake line. It feels dry, and I could not feel the oil. I said, God, it needs oil in the brake line. No lubrication on it to work properly. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's two things going on there. Yeah, I can understand the path. I've taken the wrong, I can't say wrong. I've just continuously deviate from the path and take these curves. And I really want to try and get this one right. So it was, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm glad.
It works. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Night.
Bye. Sherry, thanks, take it easy. And, okay, let's go get Miss Brittany. Hello, Brittany.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Have you ever listened to Australian music at all?
Not really.
Okay. There's a song, and as soon as I heard your voice, I heard this song, okay? I don't know what it means, but I'll tell you. It says, it's not the way that you do it, but how you do me. It's not the way that I want, but how you want it to be. You're my honey, you're my apple pie, okay? And that's going on my head. I don't know if that means any sense to you at all. But it's like... Huh?
I'll see.
Did you say something?
Not yet.
She giggled.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
giggled.
Oh, good. Virtually, what that song's all about is that you put it on the string. So something makes you feel good for a little bit. So you go, oh, yeah, it's the way they do it. So it's okay. It's so cool. The way that I want it, but how you want it to be, but I'm willing to surrender, which it means you cannot live someone else's life. You got to live your life. You got to say yes to you and no to others when you really mean no. Because at the moment, it's like you're saying yes to others and no to you. And people are getting the wrong idea about you. And what happens with it, people are going to start assuming, it's all right, Brittany will do that. Yeah, Brittany will take care of that. Brittany will do that. They will stop asking you. They just assume that you will tag along, and tag along Cassidy. You're Brittany. And Brittany's a very powerful name. So therefore, take a step forward and say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. You go ahead and do it. I'm doing something else, Or you can join me on what I want to do for a change. But it's like you've got to really find your space because you're like a puppet on a string.
Brittany?
Any questions?
Yeah, no, that's very much spot on, especially to my situation right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that it's spot on because you're better than that. You are better than that. So take a step back and say, it's my way or the highway. I will respect you, but I will not any longer.
Mm-hmm.
You're special. Don't sell yourself short, mate. Now, did you have a question, honey? You can talk about
grunt every now and then or something so we know you're there,
I grunt it. Yes, I did have a question, actually. 2016 was very, standstill for me, but then at the end, a lot of huge movement happened. Some that was more welcome than others. I was just wondering if 2017 seemed like, I guess in a lot of aspects of different categories in my life, if they will be a little bit different and more of a pick-me-up.
How old are you? 32?
30.
Yeah, I thought you were around that age. Yeah. The whole world is waiting for you, Brittany. You've got so many things but disconnect. That's what's going to really put your world on track. You've got to really take a step back and say, this is what I'm going to do today. So if on your way out and comes, what are you going to do?
Say that again?
If you're on your way out, you're going out, but a friend rocks up, right? And your friend says, go out later. Stay with me now. What are you going to do?
Go out now?
What you're going to do, what you're going to do is say, look, I'm sorry, I'm on my way out. So you come with me or you can come back later. But right now I need to go and do this for me.
Mm-hmm.
That might sound silly, Brittany, but that's kind of action going to make people start taking you seriously. Because the biggest thing that concerns me is that nobody's considering you and you're not putting yourself into the equation. So you put yourself into the equation and you've got to make people understand that you are worth it. All right? Because you will never, if you see a friend and she's going out, you automatically go, it's okay, I'll catch you later. I can see you're busy, you're doing something, so I'll catch you later. You would never make your friends stay through. You are respectful of other people's being, but people are not being respectful enough of your needs. So you need to step up. By you doing that, that's what's happened. That's what's going to bring you into the new direction. You've got to put yourself first. 2017 is a year for you. But only if you're on it.
Yeah. No, I do. That was honestly really good advice. Thank you.
Yeah. You're very numbers, by the way. There's something about you in numbers. You can get numbers quite well. And you're a person that if you were to get involved in some sort of figure a numbers project, whether fantasy or a bank or a shop or whatever, you're good. You need that mathematical energy. For some reason, the mathematical energy is something that could bring great success. You can't have and develop a very good business head as well. You're young, but you can do so much. The whole world is waiting there for you. So choose your path, not go by the advice of others.
Yeah. Well, with the numbers, I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to let you know that we do have one more. I'm not trying to rush you, but just so you do know those. Not rushing nobody.
I was just gonna say that I'm like very into like number sequences, like as far as like what's the word, like intuition and I can't think of the word right now. Use it all the time. Like it's not a coincidence. It's
like 11. You mean like 11:11?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the
word. 222. See the synchronicity of numbers.
That's what I mean. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. You're very good. Numbers connect, and you can use them as a strength. So maybe one day look into learning numerology or something simple like that, and you utilize the power of the number for your daily occurrence as well, which will help you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot.
Great. Thank you, Brittany.
Hope we talk again.
Thanks, Brittany. Okay. I don't know, I'm sound challenged tonight if people aren't hearing me or what the heck, but we got one last caller here quick, and this is Michaela, or how do you say your name?
Michaela.
Michaela.
Yes.
Very good. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Hi, Michaela.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie. Michaela?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Okay. What you say and what you mean sometimes has got a double side, which it means judgment prevents you a little. Well, what's that background noise? Okay. Sometimes judgment.
Gotta turn your computer sound off or do something like that, you guys. That's the problem. Carry on.
Michaela,
yes.
You've got to really be aware that what you say and what you mean have to coincide, because our actions are doing something different than what you're saying. And at the moment, you're a bit fiery. You're like a little dynamite going to go off any time. So really, try to get out in the morning. But that is because you're feeling that you're telling people things, but they're not understanding what you're saying. But that is because your actions are demonstrating different to what you're saying. So you've got to try and balance it somehow, and that will stop a lot of the confusion as such. So if you say that you're going to be at the mall, well, you got to go at the mall. You go halfway through, you change your mind, you go somewhere else, and then someone's trying to find you at the mall and you're not there, because people it's like they don't know where you're coming from for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's like more precise about what you want people to know about you and what you want them to follow, because otherwise you've got so much opportunity that will come your way second half of the year. But the first half of the year, it's like you've got to tidy up loose ends, and you've got to put everything into perspective a little bit better. But you've got to practice what you preach, and you've got to say what you mean, which at the moment you don't sometimes, I'm afraid.
Okay. I love it.
Did you have a question?
No, I don't have any questions.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right.
That was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Enjoy supper.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. And okay. So now, Kimber, do you want to come back on to wrap? Pressure 1. Kimber. Paging Kimber. Okay, let me go find her. She's going to make me go find her. Hello, Kimber.
Hey. Hi.
All right, you just got to press 1 on your phone and unmute yourself. But anyhow. So there you are. Do you want to, now you can have your 20-minute good night.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, now you muted yourself. Okay, no, go ahead, Kimber.
Oops, sorry.
I need a drink after this. Okay, I need a drink. Okay, go ahead. Anyway, Kimber, I want to say thank you very much for coming and doing the interview. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you. I love it so much. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you, Selva, too.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. I got a bit embarrassed there. I'm not used to people praising me. Actually, I hate it really, because I'm not like that. I'm not like that. And it's but thank you, because considering we had in person, it's only what you read about me.
Yeah.
It was amazing how much you knew about me anyway. So it was interesting.
Oh, I just love your energy and pick up so much with you, and you have a great connection. So we'll definitely be in touch and
wonderful. Yeah. I'm looking forward to interviewing you in the future. Yeah. So it'd be interesting.
Not tomorrow, but the next show, the next time you're on, Kimber, Selva will be doing the interview.
Wonderful! Yay! That'll be great.
Interview you.
Yeah, yep, she's great too. So, yeah, wonderful. That's good.
Okay, so Selva, tell people how to get a hold of you. Selva.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can't hear me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you guys not hear me?
Yep, you're back. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. So can you tell people how to get a hold of you?
How to get hold of me? Very easily. You just look at me at Facebook on Selva Dutton. Just look for Selva Dutton on Facebook, and a number of pages will come up. The Reality page will come up. Selva Dutton will come up. Life Translators will come. The Awakening Life Path Church will come up as well. So I'm very easy to find just on Facebook, really, or just Google Selva Dutton and you'll get everything. You'll get my name, my phone number, everything comes up, and nothing's secret anymore. It's really sad, really. I had nothing secret anymore. So, yeah, I'm easy to find. Look for Selva Dutton. I did a research on the name Selva a few weeks ago, and I only found 3 Selvas in the world. So you only got, 2 other times. The third one you get it right, so don't worry about it. But, Facebook is the easiest way. And I do have an email address, which is selva.dutton@gmail.com, or the Awakening Light Path Church address is there as well, which is Awakening Light Path @gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
And so I'm really easy to find. Yeah. So I'm really easy to find. I mean, but it's too expensive to call.
Too expensive to what?
To call from overseas, so no need for a phone number. Oh, on Curious Time, that's the easiest way to find me is in Curious Time on Friday night.
Every Friday night on Curious Times. That's your Saturday morning of you Australian fans, and so anyway, so I'm going to play a song this time, and that everyone can hopefully hear. And are you going to get going, or are you hanging out, or what are you doing?
I'll hang out a bit.
Okay. So I'm going to play a song, and then we'll see if there's even interest in overtime. And so, let me just see here. I'm going to, there. All right. So there we go. It's not looking like we have any talkers tonight. So unless somebody indicates to me in the chat room that they're there for overtime, let me know so I know. And otherwise we can get out of Dodge. Tomorrow night Kimber is here, and the great Corinne DeWinter will be interviewing Kimber tomorrow night. Sunday night we have Dr. Ida Green, Monday, Michael John Fierro has done my show before when I used to be at the old place, and numerologist wants to come and talk about the new year, and so numerologically speaking, and you should have a mouth. What happens between you and your husband is not my business. Your husband and your mouth, that's your business. That's very private. We don't need to know. And so anyway, he's obviously going to help you fix your headset, which is good. Okay, I think we're done then, you guys.
I think we're done. It was fun.
Yes, thank you, Kimber. And so we'll be back tomorrow night. Selva, thank you. Thanks, Bullion. Looking forward to next Friday and looking forward to your interview of Kimber. That'll be good. We'll get you into the interview.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And she's a woman of great, she's we can't pry nothing. We can't even get her picture. She won't even she doesn't tell us nothing, really. She says a lot, but
that's
she doesn't
good.
tell us anything. So you'll have to bring your dental tools with you and pry it out of her, you know what I mean? And so we'll see. It'll be interesting. Because Kimber, you're going to be getting interviewed by a psychic.
Yeah. Yep.
And we're gonna tell the psychic, to have a coffee cup in one hand and a beer mug in the other hand, and when Kimber gives us a truthful answer, then she's gonna show us the coffee cup, and when Kimber gives us a less than truthful answer. We'll figure it out. We'll get a little code. Yes, we'll have a little code working, and you better come in via computer so you can keep your eye on Selva and the camera too, Kimber.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get in that.
She'll be doing thumbs down. She'll be going, not so much, and Kimber, or she just have to nod her head. Kimber will
I'm sure we'll be fine.
I know.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
So,
it'll be fun.
It'll be, you said the F word way too many times today. Fun. And so anyway, okay.
Fun.
So enjoy the rest of your weekend, Selva, and we'll see you next Friday, and everybody else, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, Kimber, and we're gone in 3, 2, 1. Peace out.